Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. Is only me and you?
I'm fine, thanks.
I will be cooking now. Znaczy, ja gotuję spaghetti bolognese, więc
Okay.
muszę się za chwilę z obrazem wyłączyć.
Dobra.
Na razie jeszcze czas.
Hi, Bias. How are you?
Hello there.
You okay?
Yes, I am, thanks.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Hello, hello.
How was your
I'm
week?
Fantastic, thanks. Hi, Magdalena.
I like
I
the
like-
posts you have done this week.
Thank you. I like your dress, Magdalena. It's wonderful.
Oh, thank you. That's just a thought.
Yeah. Thanks, Maria. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I keep doing more. I keep doing it, and I just do it well, a challenge, but there we are.
Wonderful.
That's what I do with you as a mentor. I do one a day. I miss one day,
Yes.
but
That's
there we
correct.
are. Amazing. So,
I'm trying to get over with my illness, but it's not doing very well. Going to take time.
it happens. I mean, I'm on the phone, so actually sometimes on the laptop it doesn't do either. Sometimes it's flashing the light and then it doesn't go to get out and go back in.
Yes, yeah, and I've had an issue with it as well, and I upgraded it, so it's better now.
I mean, last week I was with Rob Moore, and he only was talking to you when he could see you.
Okay.
And so in a break, I went and I tried to improve it, and then I could see him. So we talked about podcasts, amazing stuff, but it's quite involved.
Yes, yes. Well, I heard him for just at the end of it this morning on Clubhouse, and I was quite surprised, really, what he said.
Well,
about the topic. You know which topic I'm talking about?
He's been blocked on YouTube. Have you heard that?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to.
Who are you talking about?
I don't know.
Hi, Debbie.
Hello,
Hi.
Debbie. Hello, Debbie.
Yeah,
Hi,
and
how are you?
there is a guy from John Lee called Marcos de Suso. He is in the same way. He may be blocked very shortly.
Amazing. Just by using one word or something.
Yes, yes. So we have to be careful with the vocabulary that we are using.
Yeah, I know the words. I wrote it down, but you're not allowed to use.
Absolutely, absolutely. Debbie, are you safe? Is everything okay?
Yes, it is. I'm wearing my Canadian plaid just for the day. The wind is a little bit windy, but not too bad right now. I think that if it was just snow, it wouldn't be so much an issue, but we're going to have that changeover through freezing rain to ice. So when you get that heavy snow slush ice combination on the wires, it doesn't take much for them to come down.
Yeah, we have quite windy conditions throughout the night and the day, which is unusual. Normally it stops in the morning, but is blowing today like mad. So
When I was working my 9 to 5, as I was part of an emergency preparedness team for my government department, we had one year, 7 or 8 years ago now, that I put in 35, 36 overtime hours between January 25th and February 25th. And that was just doing conference calls to figure out whether offices would be closed, schools would be closed, like all of that. That was just conference calls.
Welcome, Lisa. Welcome, Frankie. So let's give another minute and then we start.
Maria, what you're not allowed to use is COVID, lockdown, vaccine, and pandemic.
I've got a word. I've got a similar word to pandemic that we can use. It's sort of a mixture of Polish and English. Magdalena would understand what I would say, but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's you know what, it reminds me of my childhood, when you could not use certain expressions, certain words, because you could get into trouble. So we are reliving it again in some cases.
That reminds me of living in China.
Isn't it just? Yes. Hello, John. Welcome. How
Hi,
are you?
guys.
Hello.
Wonderful. Great to see you all. So let's start with a quote. I am not having any forbidden words, so hopefully it will be accepted. And the quote is by Ben Silberman, who is the founder of Pinterest. And he said this: don't take too much advice. Most people who have a lot of advice to give with a few expectations generalize whatever they did. Don't overanalyze everything. I myself have been guilty of overthinking problems. Just build things and find out if they work. And the second one from Anthony Volodkin, who said, be undeniably good. No marketing effort or social media buzzword can be a substitute for that. So welcome to today's afternoon's meeting. We are still waiting for a couple of people to join us. So hopefully they will. And in the meantime, what I would like to do is ask you if you have got any questions for discussion. If not, I have prepared some to discuss. So I think Lisa raised her hand. So let's start our discussion. I love that part of the meeting because we can learn so much from each other. Lisa, you have a question?
Yes, I do have a question.
Wonderful.
What do you consider to be important when you plan to make an investment?
Very good question.
In someone or something?
Okay, who would like to go first? Diaz, you raised your hand.
Oh, that's for a question.
Okay. So, okay, would you allow me to go first then, since nobody is brave enough? Okay, investing in something. I have been fortunate to receive a very good tool for calculating investment in properties from our friend here, John Bullock. And it is a fantastic tool. Now, property has been always probably the best thing to invest if you want to have a reasonable yield in return. However, there are times during the economical periods where you need to look at the place where you want to invest in the property. For example, at the moment, the return on investment in London is very low, is something like 1.5 to 3%, okay, on investment. And London is the place where it's really, really difficult to start up because of the large deposits and so on. Although there are some people who teach us to invest without our own money, okay? But that's beside the point. So property, I would say, is the safest place to invest. However, you need to ask yourself a question. Is that for me? Because it is a difficult business to be in. You need to be able to have the acumen of sort of a gut feeling and be able to know where, when is the best time to get out and sell that property and maybe invest somewhere else, okay? There are lots of people who will say, okay, invest in Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is so expensive that not everyone can invest in it. So they buy the lower graded cryptocurrencies. But here is not a safety investment because it's not a regulated market. Okay, so if you lose money, you have nowhere to turn to be able to get it back. Okay, and there is so many, shall I say, greedy people that really are, and I am going to use a very bad word, they are ripping off people left, right, and center with cryptocurrencies. The other one, stock. Again, if you are newbie in it, you need to get yourself a mentor who will tell you exactly, teach you how it works, okay? And you have to be very careful who you're choosing. There is quite a lot in the media at the moment. Invest £180 and you will have £4,362 back every month. And that is given the names of Elon Musk and just recently I saw someone else, Robert Kiyosaki and others, and I would not go into it because to me that's a scam. You can never get that amount of money for that little investment. And the other one, which I personally recommend, is investment in hard metal, so gold, silver, because gold have been always the currency to be continuing when the paper money has not been there. And there is a word out that dollar is going to basically be waste paper because they have overprinted it so much of it in the last 3 years that this June they are stopping to print it, and basically it may be really, worthless paper, but that's a rumor. I don't know if that is going to be. So I personally, know people, and I personally suggest to invest in the gold and silver, because silver is used in the electronic industry and is scarce. There is very little silver now left underneath our ground. So it's going to be very, very expensive in the next few years. Gold at the moment is holding its price. And so lots of people are investing in it, but don't buy jewelry, buy bars or coins. So that's the thing. And investing in a person, this is something which really demands from us very careful, very organized way of doing it, because when we search for someone to really lift our business up, we need to take time. We need to take several interviews, discussions, meetings, and so on, and be very, very careful when we invest in those people, because if we hire someone really, really good, then our business will shot right up and we will really be successful. But sometimes we can make a mistake, and that mistake can be very, very costly. Now, to teach someone on how much we need to invest in a person, and probably Deb or John will tell you that an investment in a good employee or staff member or management team member is very, very expensive. But if we choose the right person, that money will return to us very quickly. But if we make a mistake, it will be very, very costly. But when we sack that person, we need to sack them immediately. That's my input. Thank you. Welcome to Becky. Lovely to see you. So who would like to go for this question and answer this question?
Can I say something, Maria?
Certainly.
I'd like to ask Lisa, what was your motivation for asking the question? You're on mute.
Because I am curious to know what a business mind looks for, and because I'm going to be pitching myself to get an investment from someone. So I wanted to have an idea of what I'm going to be looking to expect to provide.
Right. Oh, well, now I understand it better. So thank you for that. Funny enough, I've recently been pitched to, and I think what an investor is looking for, firstly, is they want to understand the return on investment. So, you know, how much I'm going to put in and what's the basis of my return. And then secondly, what security are you going to offer me? So if I'm giving you X amount of pounds and it was to fail tomorrow, what's the exit strategy? I want to know how I'm going to get my money back. So they're my two most important questions that I want to ask for, first of all. And then I'd want to know the time horizon with regards to that money. So I think they are really very important. If there's no security within it, I mean, okay, in any type of business, there's a certain degree of risk, but there has to be some form of security. That may be in assets, chattels, or it may be in intellectual property where you have something that's so unique and there's a market there already. And how's that market going to come in? And you've got something that can substantiate with regards to what you've built up so far and how you're going to launch that even further. So I think they are really important elements to when you're pitching to somebody. If you take those three things, really important: return on investment, security of my investment, and the term in which you're talking about. They're going to be three important things. And if you can answer those things, then I think you will have a qualitative proposal.
I'd like to follow that up with the people side of that. Agree 100% with all the input. But if you know that there is a person sitting in front of you who is pitching an idea, you need to know that you have that, and I'm going to say gut feeling about the person that's in front of you. And that needs to be backed up with, is she passionate about what she's doing? Or is this a fly-by-night, this came across my mind, I pitched it and hopefully it lands? Is that where her background is, her passion is? Is she vested in what she's trying to sell? How well researched was it? Have you looked at everything? Did you do a SWOT analysis? How good is your business plan? All of those things so that you have crossed all your T's, dotted all your I's, all the things. And even to the point where I would take your business plan and I would take it to somebody who will tear it apart, destroy it as much as they can, be brutally honest, be brutal with you so that you know where the holes are. What could they possibly be looking for that you don't have? Figure out how sound that proposal is so that when you walk in and it's a sound proposal It's where your background is. It's where your passion is. It's well thought out. It's well researched. You've looked at all the angles. You've looked at all the markets, all the vertical industries, everything that you could possibly look at. All of those things is part of the piece that I have looked for when I have talked to people. And that's aside from the business side of that question, which John just answered beautifully. And but you have to be able to provide them, once they have those questions answered, you have to be able to provide them with the answers that satisfies them, that the person that is standing in front of them is somebody they want to invest in. Because make no mistake, they're not just investing in a person or a business, they're investing in a person too.
Thanks for that, Deb. Yeah.
Wonderful. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Debbie. Okay, so who would like to go on input anything to it? Or shall we? Okay, Frankie.
I think it's a very good question. I think, well, from what I would know, the best investment is obviously really investing in yourself. I think that's always really important. But if you invest in yourself, no matter what it is that you're going into with the person or you feel in front of you, you've got to know how much that person is invested in himself and invested in his expertise or invested in what he is as a specialist or his speciality. So I feel that's really important as well. Yeah, probably due diligence on the person or due diligence on the person you're dealing with, you know, to see how much he's invested in himself and what he does, what his expertise or his speciality is. So that's what I would say as well.
Brilliant. Anyone else, or we move to the next question? Okay, so Biaf has a question.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I came across the other day, and I did not know it, but maybe some of you have heard of it. How many generations ago has the pension plans come into operation? Because there was a time there were no pension plans.
Okay.
Sorry, say that again, Beat. Sorry.
How many generations ago has the pension plan come into operation? Because there were times when there was no pension plan. People just to keep on working, didn't live as long. And now we have ages of 66, 50, you know what I mean, and things like this, and always changing. How many generations ago? And so it's not something which has been there all the time. It's
welcome to Chris Burgess, and John is first to answer this question.
Pete, I find that an interesting question because everyone looks to retain their wealth to a certain degree, and I say that because to a certain degree, carrying yourself forward with a pension is investing in yourself, but trying to look after yourself sometime at a future point where you think you may not be able to do so. And if you look back, especially in the UK, as far as Magna Carta, where you had all the royals, the barons, and the knights and the nobles, they forever looked after themselves and made sure that the wealth they had. It was only when we had when the working classes at the beginning of the 20th century really started. We had the peasant revolution and things such as that. You know, when they started to stand up for themselves and said, "Well, look, we want a way of life." So what I'm saying to you is that it's. I don't know what the actual answer is, but I feel I think you're right to suggest that recently, only in the last few decades, possibly, it's been passed down to us, or maybe to have that opportunity. And as equally as it's been passed down to us, there are taxation things that happen to us all the time, where it's given with one hand and directly taken with the other hand, which makes everything so bloody incredibly hard. You make one decision, it's a bit like peeling back an onion, only to trigger something else, and you realise, oh my God, perhaps I shouldn't have made that decision in the first instance. There are many difficult taxation questions that are being asked of us, consistently all the time, and it's a way to want to dilute our natural wealth, and it happens all the time. And unfortunately, our nobles, if we look to them, have better mechanisms of retaining wealth.
I read about this some times ago, and my vague memory says that in UK the pensions were introduced after the First World War, so we're looking at about 6-7 generations ago, and the reason is that the government knew that they would not be able to get the people moving towards saving the country in case another conflict was showing. So they had to introduce social services and pension schemes and so on. I am not sure of the year, but my guess is about 6-7 generations ago. What is the correct answer?
I was told 3 generations, Maria.
3 generations. Well, there you are. Depends how many years of the generation, because
I know.
in some countries a generation is 25 years and in some it's longer. So, yeah.
They're getting longer and longer, do they?
Yeah, yeah. Anyone else would like to ask a question or add to this question?
What was that? Don't know what the question was, love. I missed it.
How many generations ago was the pension scheme introduced in the UK?
Oh, no idea on that one. I never looked back. They had a peasants' revolt in 1381 for the very thing. People were getting taxed to hell. And he went into, obviously got as far as London. And the king then sort of said, okay, I'll go back home. Yeah, we'll do what you like. We won't tax you as much. And it's been going on since then. So no pensions. They just rob you soft.
Okay.
Don't you die before you get to pension age. Now we're exceeding that age now, and they're in trouble. So they've already upped it for people where it used to be 65 for men and whatever, and now they've upped it for women and upped it for men. So it's just a game with them, and it's life and death to some people because they're that poor they can't bloody eat.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Anyone?
I'll give you an interesting fact when it comes to pensions, Pete, that you may not know, and it's the rule of 10. So if you want a £20,000 pension, how much do you need in your pension pot?
That's going to be £200,000 if you said
£200,000. If you want £15,000, you need £150,000. And that is just a ready calculator. So wherever you need to be and whatever it is you think you want, that'll give you an indication of what you're going to need.
Oh, bit late for me,
and just lastly on that, just so you know.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that at this time, okay, in this day and age, if a lady gets widowed here in UK, she's going to be very well to receiving a widow's pension of £25 a week.
Very wonderful.
That's a lot of money.
It's disgusting. It's absolutely terrible. I mean, he raises an interesting point. The taxation rules on pensions have changed, but I often have this, for want of a word, we'll say disagreement with some pension advisors, because I've never known. It does give stability and security in a sense, if you're that way and you want it. But I've never known a product like it in all your life. It's that you save all your life for it. And then when you get to a certain age, Chris, you then say, can I have my pension? And they say, no. And you go, but it's my money. Yes, that's right. It's your money. Well, can I have it? The answer's no. Well, why not? Because you've got to buy an annuity. Okay, I'll buy an annuity. I've got £200,000. Let me buy it. You've just bought an annuity. Can I have my £200,000? What, no. £200,000? The 200,000? Oh, no. It's not £200,000 now. It's only 190,000. Well, you told me it was £200,000. But it costs £10,000 to take it from the pension. to put it into the annuity. Didn't you know that? You've now got 190,000. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, can I have my £190,000? And then they turn around and say, no, you can only have 25%. We'll only give you 25% now. So, okay, I'll take my 25% now. Can I have the rest of my money? Are you earning any other money? Why? Well, the rest of that money that you've saved for all your life is now taxable. It's now taxable on your earnings, even though you've saved it all your life. So I've looked at that, and when you think you've got no control over it, and what happens, as Maria says, if my partner dies, do I, as the widow, or I forget what the male form of widower is, do I get it? And they turn around and say, no, you don't, because the only winner in it all, unfortunately, is the pension companies. It's the financial companies who keep control of your money all the way through. And it even goes for superannuation schemes. You know, when you work at a teacher or whatever, you work with the civil service, it's all the same. So it is, in my opinion, it depends on what your mind frame, what your mindset is, and how you feel about it. But having control over what I wanted to do with my money and where I put it was something that was important to me.
Yes, absolutely. That is the best way to do it, because otherwise you will be taken for a ride from each side. Because everybody will be taking their own cut, and you're going to be left with nothing. True, so true. Anyone else with question? Thank you so much for the input. Very valuable.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Right, and I'm asking the question, but I would like your help as well. Not only with the answers, but with the responses. I've been trolled this week, and I don't know if you've ever been trolled, where you're receiving negative reviews for people you don't even know, or don't even have a business relationship with. And it becomes how strong you are as an individual. It becomes emotionally challenged because somebody's saying something to you, but you don't feel as if you have no control over it. And it's not as if I spoke to my people that deal with my web stuff and everything like that. And I sort of said to them, well, if you do respond, the problem is you're going to get more of it. So the next thing is, well, how do you respond? So I approached Google, and Google come back to, because they have this synchronized system. It's like that comedy show in England where you turn around and the person wants to travel and they go, oh, the computer says no. So as you go around and turn around and they say to you, I said to you, look, this is obviously, this is not just a negative review. It's not a customer's review. I'm just being trolled. It's a spam review. And then they come back to you and they respond to you and they're saying to you, why don't you speak to your customer? Well, that's the problem, isn't it? It's not a customer, because if it was a customer, I'd have a conversation and I'd experience to share, whether that's good or bad. I'd have the experience in which to share. But when you try and build a reputation over a period of time to the best of your ability, and then you have no control over it, I find it very frustrating, because I've always been the kind of person in my life that when I'm faced with an issue, it's no good me ruminating over it. I have had to take some form of action. And I don't mean let's get physical. I mean the fact that I may be taking appropriate action with regards to a strategy, how I'm going to recover the situation where I need to be. But the point of it is I was taking positive action to a direction where I wanted to be. And that was always very important for me. And I still do that in business today. So when I'm faced with a dilemma, I need to take action. If I'm just sitting there ruminating at work in my head, I need to do something about it. Yeah. Okay, trouble with this, you can't. You can't do nothing about it. Now, on my Google reviews, I suffered on my Google reviews, and I've just gone onto Facebook now, and I've just seen another one, and I'm going to share that link in here so you can read it yourself. And so there's what I've just had now sent in. I don't know whether I should respond. There's a side of me that says I want to get on that and call this person for everything. And then I thought, I don't know what to do. So I'll be interested to see what you guys think about it, and what you think I should do about it. So that I'm putting to a real life scenario to you now.
Frankie wanted to say something, and Biath, they have the hands up.
It's interesting you just said that question, John, because it's going to relate to my question, what I'm going to ask in a minute. Yeah, but relating on what you just said there, John, I had the same on Facebook. Yeah, and I just looked and thought, that's interesting. But then again, John, I seen it as a sign of probably how far I'm coming, or how far I've actually got now, that people are putting me down on Facebook or saying bad things about me on Facebook. So in a way, John, I would see that as a compliment, mate. It goes to show how far you've come. And if people haven't got anything better to do to put you down and judge you on whatever social media platform it is, sorry, that's just their sad life. Me personally, John, I would just ignore it. That works for me anyway, John. I've just ignored it. I've not heard anything since. But yeah, somebody put something up bad about me, and I just completely ignored it. I've not heard anything since back from him, and even know the guy's name as well. So I just feel that's the way I would deal with it. But I'd say it's a compliment, John. I see it's how far you've come. And, if you're getting enemies of people who don't like you, I think that's a good sign. It goes to show that you stand for something positive.
Thank you, Frankie.
Okay, thank you, Frankie. Biath and then Deb.
Actually, John, I heard, I talked to you earlier on about Rob Moore, and Rob Moore gets messages like this. And he said publicly, I'm just going to respond in a positive way. I'm just going to love him. I'm just going to say something what they don't expect. And leave it at that. Or like he said, don't say anything, basically speaking.
Okay, thank you. Deb and Lisa.
Thank you for your piece. I like that. That's a good thought. I never thought about that. But that's just as strong as what Frankie's saying. So I do like that. And go back and don't sort of beat them up verbally, but go back and say something positive. I'll have a little think about that. You'll make me reflect in a different way. Thank you for that.
Are you unmuted, Deb?
I wasn't sure if you could hear the wind out there, so I was leaving me muted. My question is, because this is where it gets me, is when somebody makes a comment like that, the first thing that happens is that I feel like my sense of integrity has been violated. And that's where your first gut reaction comes from. So I agree with Frankie and Biet that the best thing is to not respond. What I have done in the past, and this might be a thought for the others on the call, is when I have seen somebody do that to a colleague or a business partner or somebody that I know, I have gone in and commented and said, I have dealt with this company, this person, and have had nothing but rave reviews about them. So that people understand you're out of it, but people understand that it's not you fighting somebody else is ready to defend you. And this has got nothing to do about the person who's making the comment. This is everything to do with the people who are reading his comment. Now, to do that means, and John, if I had ever taken one of your classes, one of your programs, I would do it for you in a heartbeat. But it would be disingenuous of me to go in and make that comment because we've never had any business dealings. But then I would know doing so might bring on a conversation between me and this person that might not be a good conversation. And if it gets out of hand, delete it. But know first why it's bothering you. Is it really having a negative impact on your business? Because if it's not, leave it there, because sometimes that comment will make other people curious and they will go looking for you when otherwise they might not. And understanding the true reason why it's upsetting you. And knowing you just from being on these calls, they have violated your sense of integrity, your sense of honesty, and that pisses you off.
Big time.
Okay, Lisa and then Becky, please. Thank
Hi,
you.
John. You said that you had spoken to Google. Have you actually contacted Facebook? Because the first thing I would do would be click the report button, and anybody that sees it, that knows you as well, is entitled to click that report button too. Because for a start, my first instinct was, when I looked at it, was to go in and look at his profile. He has one friend and he has nothing else filled in. And anybody who's doing their due diligence and looking for you to do a business is going to check reviews, and they're also going to check the authenticity of a review such as that, because he's not, because in all honesty, and I'm saying this just to help you to feel, perhaps you're going to feel violated, but to feel a bit better about it, I would say that someone who is genuinely upset with your services or considers you a scam artist is not going to just write that. They're going to tell people what you did, why you did it, and why they're pissed off. And so I honestly believe that most people would look at that and think, let me click on this, see who this is, and see that he's clearly someone who's just made an account an hour ago, and they would ignore it. And I hope that helps to give you some comfort, because like I say, like everyone said, there's no point in retaliating, because your strength is in knowing that people will be able to see through that.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lisa. Becky,
Thank you, Lisa.
and
Thank you,
then
Debbie.
Magdalena.
Both of the advice.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Becky.
Hi,
Hello.
thanks for having me here. Happy New Year to you all.
And to you.
Yeah. John, I'm actually going with what everyone has said, and also I want to also go another way. This is an attack on your brand. This is an attack on your name, an attack on your integrity. And I feel like ignoring it in a way may not actually help. You know, you can choose to ignore it and, you know, let it go, but you can also choose to play the good guy there by, you know, responding to him. What proof do you have? Have I ever done business? As in just responding to it, because for people like someone that has never done business with you before and is saying that comment, we just take it like, okay, yes, this is who this guy is, without even going to find out more about you, without even going to find out more about this person. So you dropping a comment there shows that, yes, you are actually protecting your integrity. Now, what proof do you have? Can you please drop your proof here? And if he doesn't respond, because I have seen lots of things like that on people's, especially somebody that is doing great, you can't expect everybody in the world to support you. You can't expect everybody in the world to like you. And don't be surprised if this person is somebody close to you. But for the fact that this person is attacking my integrity, and I come out and say, what proof do you have? And it's definitely people like that, they won't respond again. They're not going to respond because they don't have a proof. If me, a first-time person, come and I see comment like that, and I didn't see his response to your request, like what proof do you have? I've definitely that this person is just trying to bring out the brand. But you ignoring it is some people that are too lazy to find out who is this person, it may actually hurt your business, may hurt your integrity. So in a way, you can just ignore it. And in a way, you can just ask him that simple question. Do you have a proof that I am a command? Do you have a proof that this is, what is your proof? And definitely, I'm sure he's not going to respond because he has no proof. But that you coming out to say it, you have, because you have a proof, you have people that have done business with you, and you're already ready to come out with the proof that this is not who I am. So that's where people can go to your page and say, okay, who is this person? Let me even find out about this person. So that's what I think. Thank you.
Becky.
Yeah, thank you, Becky. Thank you for that.
Just another thing on that. The people who do that, it's an act of jealousy.
Yeah, can we just let Magdalena to say something and Deb come back?
Hello, everyone. Yes, I just want to add something. There was a few points which I want to actually touch. Reporting to Facebook might not have any input, because Facebook needs to have several reports to delete this profile or whatever. I've been through that, so I'm telling you from my own experience. Another one, somebody who is commenting like that or making a testimonial or whatever, is someone who himself needs some help. That person has a problem, and he is in the way expressing himself in a not really nice way outside. So that's another thing. And I want to tell you a little bit story from my experience in the past. Sorry about this noise. Those are my children. You need to bear with them. Sorry about that. So when I was involved, obviously I am with the business which I am now, so which is different, which I wanted to touch about. A couple of years ago, I was actually doing the makeup company, and I was doing live every single week, which was like doing, for example, drawing something weird on my face, yeah, like some kind of Disney character or something like that. And I had a hater on my actually live who said, this was Polish live, so they came on my live and they said, what is this clown hole? And this was in Polish. They said, what is this pajacownia, for Maria, who will know. And since then, I adopted this pajacownia, this clown hole, as my title of my live. And this actually brought me so many viewers that this hater actually brought me a name and made me kind of famous in that way. So sometimes, you know, the haters actually might bring you more business. This is what I wanted to say. But in this case, it may be, first of all, it's best to ignore it. You can probably delete it, I suppose, this whole post, and just not to worry. So yes, this is what I wanted to say.
Deb, please. Thank you, Magdalene.
I just wanted to comment. There's a part of me that does agree with Becky, but it's if you're asking for proof, they can, if they're going to make up that comment, they can come back with any made up experience or excuse. If you were going to do that, my suggestion would be to preface it with, according to my records, I have never done any business with a company or a client with the name of blah, blah, blah. Can you please, then if you're going to ask for experience, so that way you're saying upfront, regardless of what they come back with, that my records say I don't know you. That's my only.
Thank you very much. I've had a situation like this. Chris, if you don't mind. I've had several incidents like this. And my reaction to each one of them was saying, thank you so much for your comment. I do not remember that we had been dealing with each other before. However, if you recall any details, please write to me and I will be happy to answer you and help you if it need be. And the other incident was I made a comment on a Polish site. It was a discussion about some situation in Poland, and this lady, which her profile had no photograph on Facebook, nothing. She criticized me for putting my 5p in when I am not living in Poland, and I said to her, I said, thank you very much for your comment. Whilst I am not living in my home country, I am still caring for what is going on there, and I have every right to voice my opinion if I feel like so. And you also have right to have your own opinion. However, I have given you no right to criticize me. And then she replied, very friendly, and we had a long conversation, which was very, very friendly. So you can turn this around. This guy, that name rings a bell with me, John. And what he has said, basically, I would just, say to him, thank you very much for your comment. However, I do not recall that we have been actually meeting each other at any point in the past.
Thank you for that, Maria.
Okay. So, Chris, please.
Yeah, there's one, John, because there's one, this is like quantum stuff, and it works. Right, what you say, because obviously you've got the idiot's name, whatever it is. You don't have to mention his name, you can say, I love you. This is, you say it's not.
That is a good one.
You say, I love
It
you.
is.
I'll explain it all in a minute, and you may then laugh, but it works. Because it's like the bullying, aren't they, bullies? And it's works. I've got 3 different ones for bullies anyway. I love you.
Yeah.
I am sorry. Forgive me.
And I
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, that's it. And what it is, you say, I love you, because nobody else bloody well would.
Exactly.
I know.
In your head, we don't have to say that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're a stupid blinking idiot, or your words, whatever. Forgive me, because you need help and I can't give it to you, or whatever your own words again. And then thank you in the conversation. And
They will
Exactly.
not know what to
that
say.
takes steam out of you. There's another 2 I can give you. One of them is, this is a great one, because it bloody works every time. 2 ways it works. You imagine that person, now you're never even seen them, 12 inches high, standing in front of you with big Mickey Mouse ears and a big red nose and little whiskers like that. And he's like that. Or she's like that, doesn't matter. Oh, John, gone wrong, John. Whatever. You'd imagine him like that and kick him over the goalpost, but the rugby goalposts, like the ones they have in America, you know, like, over the goalpost. And as they go over the goalpost, they disappear over the stand and out over the rise, and they go. So every time you see anything from him, and just go away, they just do not return. Why? I do not know, but it works.
Yes.
So that's a good one. But the first one you can do as well. And then there's another one, but I won't give you that now. But if you need it, it was a shout.
Brilliant.
I remember that. I like that. That's quite amusing. That's all.
Well, that's
I love you.
because when you think of it, instead of like getting to you, and oh bloody hell, what have I done wrong? How can I fix this? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. You start laughing at him in the nicest possible way. You're not harming him. You're just picturing them with, because that's why they like that. Kick them over the bloody grandstand, and as they go, wave bye-bye.
Brilliant
All right.
suggestion, Chris. Thank you so much.
All right.
One thing that we need to stress here in this instance, and thank you, John, for that question, because it's really important, is that we should not really allow ourselves to take that sort of entries into our head, because some people can really suffer with that, and some people can become ill or even do worse. So first of all is not to take it in, is just laugh about it and say thank you. I said to the guy, thank you much for your comment. Certainly gives me a great feedback, and I will make sure that and they never made another comment ever again. So you know, it's just, we need to be strong, because that's what happened. Look, if you look into it deeper, there is so many aspiring sports people, actors, authors, business owners, who really have taken that sort of thing into their head, and they haven't advanced, or they took their own life because they felt, you know, rubbish. And we cannot allow that to ourselves, because it's not our problem, it's their problem.
Exactly.
Their problem. They are trying to put that problem onto us, but it's not our problem.
Well, thank you, everyone. That's really very interesting in the sort of strategies in dealing with these situations, and it's thought-provoking, you know. I do.
John,
I like the idea of the response with a little bit of humor as well. That also gets me. It probably is more me that way. Yeah. So
I think there's a way you can turn around the situation for your good. So maybe just meditate on it and just turn it around, just like Magdalena said, it can turn out to bring more traffic to your
Absolutely.
page because people want to know who is this guy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So
Huh?
there's a
Yeah.
way you can just go about it and just turn it around.
Definitely,
I get that.
definitely.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Some great points
Go
there.
and find my, if you can go and find my clown hole on my profile, but this is 3 years back.
Brilliant.
But every week for some time.
Fantastic. So let's move now a little bit to a different question. Does anyone else want to ask a question? If not, I've got one.
You
No?
go
Okay.
first, Maria.
So let me ask a question. It's a business question. What do your clients believe about you? Okay. So who would like to answer first?
Okay, then I'll go first.
Okay.
It's interesting. I think it's really interesting because, very good question. If you want people to work with you, no matter what, because obviously I've got a few ventures, but if you want somebody to work with you, I think it's really important that the person does the due diligence or does the background work on you as a person. Because I honestly feel if that person trusts you, he's going to work with you. If he feels that the person is honest and is trustworthy, he's going to work with you. So I honestly believe as well, that person will do that due diligence and do what he needs to do on that person he's working with. And plus, if he knows you as well as a person who's good and honest and trustworthy, he's going to work with you. So I think that's really important. But I think sometimes, it depends where you're going to. Sometimes people are not like that, are they? They'll ask 200, 300 questions and still say, oh, I want to work with you, and still keep asking 200 and 300 questions about what you're doing or what it is. So it can be a tricky one. So I would say, the due diligence and knowing that person is trustworthy, he's honest, his behaviour as a business owner, a behaviour as a person, I think is really important as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Frankie. Deb?
I actually went through an exercise as part of a course last year and where the same question was asked. And part of the homework, if you will, was we had to go out and post on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, wherever we wanted, and ask the question, letting people know, like, I'm undergoing a program, and one of the requirements is that I'm supposed to reach out to the people I know, etc., and ask them to provide the 3 words they would use to describe me. And I probably had about 20 responses, and it was a 24-hour window that I was working with. And every single person said compassionate. And the next 2 common words were knowledgeable and caring. So, I mean, it's an interesting question to go out and ask what others, it's a little bit vulnerable perhaps, but to go out and ask people that you're going through a branding exercise, and if you had to pick 3 words, your personal experience with me or a business experience, then what would be the 3 words you would describe?
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Deb. Who would like to go next? Lisa, I've got your hand raised.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it was interesting because when you first said it, my immediate reaction was, do you want me to say what I think people think of me, or do you want me to say what I want them to think of me? Because in all reality, I'm not doing myself down or in injustice when I say that I still believe that people will look at me as someone who is very new to the market and doesn't have enough social proof to show what they're doing. And I say that more in the sense of when you're selling products, more so perhaps than myself, because obviously I've got experience behind me. but I don't necessarily have the social proof online, doing what I'm doing currently to prove myself. And I think people look for that, and it's very important. The reviews are all important. The amount of sales that you've already done on each product is what pushes you into the stratosphere. So I think it's hard to get over that hump. And once you do, then I think you can confidently start to see what people think about you.
Thank you, Lisa. Beat, you want to say?
Actually, I can just say something to Marie, because I went on her Etsy, whatever it's called, and I got something from her last year, and she said, "You're the first one doing it," and so I'm very pleased. She said that to me, not me. So she was very. I didn't expect that. So thank you, Marie.
Thank you very much, Beat. Deb?
Just to
You're breaking up
I
because-
think that we're not have a large base. I don't think that really matters, because if you are a person that demonstrates integrity and compassion, and what words they use to describe it throughout your life, whether it was a teacher or how you deal with people in general, those traits are your traits. And that is going to translate to your business, to a product you deal with.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you, Deb. Anyone else?
Yeah, I suppose I go along with what Debbie had said. I know some people from time to time put out these emails, don't they? Also send a questionnaire when they ask people for feedback or a review, not just on what you deliver, but with the things that you've done well, and they pick out maybe 5 words and things like that. And the idea is to work on those words, what's positive, or there's things you think you need to change, you know. So it's hard. It's hard, really. I think it's a good benchmark to have every now and then, to do it and to see whether that you're coming across the right way, or hopefully in the way that you intend to.
Yeah, thank you very much. Anyone else? Becky?
Okay, I'm going to talk as a coach. I'm a coach and I'm into family life. So towards ending of last year, I took a training to talk about getting clients and stuff, because I wanted this year to be different. And one of the things I learned in that training, which I started putting it to use, and it has been able to help me, is people don't hire coach for who they are. People actually don't care who you are, whether you have integrity or whatsoever. People hire coach to get results. Yes, they want you to give them results. So, and then you can actually, they can trust you that you can give them results based on the results you have done in the past. So there are 2 things you can get them to trust you. And one thing is talking about what they care the most, and then also letting them know that what you care most, what you need, I can help you get results. So what they are actually looking for, or what they need from you, is results. It's not you or what your principle is, or what. I've learned that, because in this 1 month of this year, I've used that to tell people, I can give you the result you want. What is it you want? They say, you want to get a spouse? I can help you get the spouse you want. And you know, people have actually taken me up on, okay, yes, this is the result I want. And so I believe what my client will have to say about me is that I can give them the result they want. So that is, I think I've answered the question.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? Okay, so after this very difficult and very good discussion, shall we have a little bit of relax? And Chris is going to put us into a relaxed mode before we go into our next part of the meeting. Chris, over to you.
Yeah, well, it's called Expelling the Filth meditation. So in other words, if you got anything that's, I mean, if you got a bucket of mud on top of your head, that's a bit, if you just get a wash. But this, if you like, if you, well, got horrible things going on, or just ordinary things going on that you want to get shut off, you do just a self-meditation. and it doesn't take long. As if you want to go into yoga type meditations, you can go in for a day or years. Sometimes you go up mountains. This works effectively in a very short time. So if you could all sort of sit comfortably and close your eyes. And the reason you close your eyes, again, you see you've got no distraction. You go inside your body, and that's where you can just get shut of any, well, rubbish or whatever. So all you do is, this works on all the organs of your body, so it's an emotional thing as well. Close your body, relax, and place your tongue against your upper palate behind your teeth. Sounds a bit off that, but do it. Your breath should be natural and even. Inhale and imagine divine healing light entering through your nose and the bay high point, which is located on the top of your head. Imagine and feel this divine healing light penetrating and feeling all the bones in the body, illuminating and vibrating in each bone. Exhale and imagine the energy beginning to whirl in a clockwise direction out through the whole of your body. Starting at the head, imagine energy whirling in through the upper part of your head, circulating clockwise on a horizontal plane, flat plane, moving downwards through the body and its entire bone system, building up momentum, speed as it flows to your feet. Imagine a whirling energy flowing throughout all your bones and the internal organs and tissues. As it moves throughout the internal tissues and your organs and bones, this whirling energy begins absorbing all the noxious heat and any turbid energy from any diseased tissues, transforming it into wind and expelling it out through the feet into the earth. You need really to practice this 10 times, but at least 9. Now, this is just the one schedule where I'm just showing you how to do it now. Do practice it 9 times. Now perform pulling down the heavens 3 times in order further to cleanse and purify the tissues. The way you do this is you put your hands above your head and you run them down the front of your body, not touching, and expel any rubbish through the front of your body. Then you put your hands again up over your head, cross them over, and bring the hands down the body and imagine all the rubbish going down your back, right down the back of your legs into the ground. Then the third one, you pull this energy from heaven, put your hands up and pull it down, and imagine it going straight down, right the way down the center of your spine, right the way down the center, down your legs, and into the ground. Now extend the roots from your feet deep into the center of the earth. You can extend roots backwards, forwards, side to side, roughly about twice your height into the ground. This gives it real contact with earth energy. Imagine and feel the earth's golden light vibrating and flowing upwards from the center of the planet into the roots, penetrating the body through your feet. Inhale and imagine drawing the energy from the earth into the feet. As the energy enters the body, it becomes transformed into wind. This wind begins circulating in a horizontal, counterclockwise direction. In other words, the opposite to the other one. Spiraling the body through the internal organs and bones and is expelled from the mouth practice this again for 9 repetitions. Even though we're just doing a couple now, you can probably sense or feel this energy moving. To extend the meditation, focus your intention on your lower dantian. Now, your lower dantian is an energy center, and it's about 3 inches below your navel. Perform pulling down the heavens again 3 times. So if you can pull down the heavens now, hands above, pull the energy down the front and let it go right the way down. Yeah, take your time, there's no rush on this. And then down the back of your body, allowing that energy to go right down the back of your body and dredging away any blooming rubbish. And on the 3rd time, pull that energy down the center core of your body, your spine, if you like. It's called a Tai Chi pole, but spine. 3 times. You then enter into a quiet sitting meditation, still. Imagine this vital energy returning back to its origin in your lower dantian. Place both hands on your lower dantian and imagine the energy collecting and settling into this lower dantian. After 15 minutes of quiet, undisturbed meditation, you can then relax and come back into the room if you wish, refreshed, cleansed of any rubbish energy, and beautiful, new, fresh, clean energy through the whole of your body. So when you're ready, at this moment in time, just open your eyes.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Yeah, no, the thing with that is, you see, it's very, very rapid because obviously you don't want to spend 30 minutes at this gig because we've just done quite a bit,
Yep.
which has helped people. So that actual expelling the filth meditation, just in case the people who kept their eyes shut and didn't doing it with your hands, you just pull the energy in, and you can either do it that way. Now, when the ladies bring their hands down onto the lower dantian, they put their right hand on the belly, if you like, and the left hand on the top. With men, it's the other way. That's the yin and yang bit. Left hand, right hand, and that settles it in to this. That in Chinese medicine, you've got upper dantian, which is energy source, heart, middle dantian, and lower dantian. In other words, you've got 3 brains. So when you're doing this, and then you finally put your hands on here, it settles it into this lower dantian. So I can send that across to Maria if she wants to send it out. If anybody wants it. It's brief. I mean, I can expand on it. So if anybody's got anything, say, what's this? What's this? And where I've been talking about energy in the thing I was saying, I've got chi, because QI is energy in Chinese. So because I'm a lazy bugger, instead of putting energy, I just put chi. So if you need that, Grace.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. So let's move to the next part of the meeting, our weekly quiz. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready as I am.
Wonderful. So question number 1. What is the name of the Jewish New Year? And you have 4 choices. The first choice is Hanukkah. The second is Yom Kippur. The third is Kwanzaa. And the fourth is Rosh Hashanah. Okay, so is it Hanukkah? Is it Yom Kippur? Is it Kwanzaa or is it Rosh Hashanah? Question number 2. How many blue stripes are on the US flag?
Gosh,
Is it 6, 7, 13, or none at all? 0. Okay, so how many blue stripes is on the American flag? Is it 6? Is it 7? Is it 13 or is it 0? Question number 3. Which one of these characters is not friends with Harry Potter? Is it Ron Weasley, or Neil Longbottom, or Draco Malfoy, or Hermione Granger? That's Harry Potter series, obviously. So who is the person who doesn't like Harry Potter? Is it Ron Weasley, Neville Longbottom, Draco Malfoy, or Hermione Granger? Question number 4. What is the color of Donald Duck's bow tie? Is it red, yellow, blue, or white? Donald Duck and his bow tie. What color is it? Is it red? Is it yellow? Or is it blue or white? Question number 5. What was the name of the band Lionel Richie was a part of? Name the band that Lionel Richie was a part of. And you have 4 choices again. Was it King Harvest? Was it Spectrums? Was it Commodores? Or was it the Marshall Tucker Band? So King Harvest, Spectrums, Commodores, or Marshall Tucker Band. Question number 6. Which animal is not featured in the Chinese zodiac? Is it dragon? Is it rabbit? Is it dog, or is it hummingbird? So you have 4 choices. Which one of those choices is not in the Chinese zodiac? Is it dragon, rabbit, dog, or hummingbird? Question number 7. Which country have hosted 2016 Summer Olympics? And again, we have choices. Was it China? Was it Ireland? Was it Brazil? Or was it Italy? So which one of those countries in 2016 hosted the Summer Olympic Games? Was it China? Was it Ireland? Was it Brazil? Or was it Italy? Question number 8. Which planet is the hottest? And again, 4 choices. The first choice is Venus. Second, Saturn. Third, Mercury. And 4th, Mars. Which one of them is the hottest? Is it Venus, Saturn, Mercury, or Mars? Question number 9. Who was the only US president to have resigned from his post? And again, we have 4 choices. Was it Herbert Hoover, Richard Nixon, George W. Bush, or Barack Obama? So which one of those 4 have resigned? The only person, the only president that resigned in the history of the United States. Was it Herbert Hoover, Richard Nixon, George W. Bush, or Barack Obama? And question number 10. What is the D in the D-Day stand for? The D in the D-Day. And again, we have 4 choices. Is it dooms? Is it dark? Is it day? Or is it Dunkirk? So what is the D meaning in the D-Day? Is it dooms, dark, day, or Dunkirk? Okay, so let's go over it again. And Question number 1. What is the name of the Jewish New Year? The name of the Jewish New Year is Rosh Hashanah. The blue stripes in the American flag, there isn't any because there is white and red. So that's 0. Question number 3. The character that wasn't friendly with Harry Potter was Draco Malfoy. And question number 4. The color of the Donald Duck's bow tie is red. And question number 5. The name of the band that Lionel Richie was a part of is Commodores. Question number 6. The animal that is not featured in the Chinese zodiac is the hummingbird. Question number 7. The country that hosted 2016 Olympic Games, Summer Olympic Games, was Brazil. Question number 8. The hottest planet is Venus. Question number 9. The only US president that has resigned from his post was?
Nixon.
Nixon, yes, Richard Nixon, yes. Question number 10. The D in the D-Day is?
Dunkirk.
Day.
Oh.
Day, yes. Yeah. So, who has got the full set of points? 10 points? Anyone? 9 points? 8? Magdalena, congratulations. You are the winner.
Well done, Magdalena.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
So
it was a little bit about characters from the stories, so I made up here.
Yeah.
I knew it about Donald Duck, and so it was not too bad.
Fantastic.
We done we done the solar system today, so I knew that one.
Wonderful, wonderful. So that is bringing us to the end of the meeting. Thank you very much for attending. Would anyone like to make any comment or give us some tip?
Yeah, I'd like to say, Chris, I enjoyed your meditation. I don't know about getting rid of the rubbish. I just thought assassinate the rubbish. I can think of certain people in mind.
You're an ex-pugilist, aren't you, Stacey?
I thought to myself, well, yeah, great. Do you know what I found really powerful, or joking put aside, is that I'm a great believer that the body can instruct the mind. I'm such a great believer in that. Like, because I was using my hands as part of the meditation.
Yes.
I really felt as if I was crushing whatever anxiety or pressures I was feeling. I was pushing it into the earth. And because I was moving my body at the same time I was doing it, I felt there was extra power to the meditation for me as an individual.
But what it is with that, you see, is that we're pig in the middle, heaven, earth. So when you do this, you get the heaven energy, which is wonderful, cleanse it, any rubbish. In other words, you're using that to cleanse it, goes right down to the central core of the earth, which everybody knows is molten. It melts it and it gives you fresh new energy up your legs and back into this lower down chain. That's the simple thing on it. Wow. So you were doing it great. Right.
Thank you.
Well done, John.
Thank you so much. Deb?
It's interesting about energy and directing it, because many years ago, I was in my 20s, I was studying Kung Fu. And one of the exercises that we had to do was to stand with your hands at just to form a loose fist by your sides. And there would be somebody, now, like, I'm just a short arse, so 2 guys on either side would put my hands, and they just, when they went to pick me up, it's a wonder I didn't go flying into the ceiling. And then we were taught how to redirect our energy into the ground and we were tree roots, and they got me that far up.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how well it works.
Yeah, the energy, there's an old saying, this is a Zen thing, nothing to do with the stuff I do really, but it's common knowledge. What is the sound of one hand clapping? Now, if you get your other hand like that, and you just go like that to there, you don't need to, I'm going to put my hands up so you can see them, and you just go like that, tell me what you feel. So if anybody just does that towards the hand,
you feel
what you feel?
Pressure,
yeah. So that pressure goes all around the world, and if it meets another hand, you'll hear a bang, right? So in other words, these fellas are trying to make you think woohoo all over the place, Zen training. But after some, you think, are they kidding, right? But what you do, literally, that is energy. This point here is pericardium, mate. You've got a sac around your heart, pericardium, which protects your heart from banging on your ribs and killing you. So this here is what's called a lamp point, connection point. Yin on your left hand, this will look reverse here, left hand, yang on that one. So if you can get the balance right, or if you sit there so you've got a ball, you can feel the energy, and it just balances things up. But I'm glad it worked for you, John, because you were a bit tense when you come on tonight, weren't you?
Yeah, I don't deny it. I do feel a bit better. It shows you, regardless of whatever our background is and anything, like, we're human at the end of the day, and things impact us, And I'm also a great believer, that I'm not bothered what the subject is. I'll sound loads of people out until I find something that sort of resonates with what's being said, and sort of it's appreciated with my values, and I'll move ahead. Now, because I've already taken action, which I've already responded in the same way, but in a positive way. No, but not negatively. And I think that's the thing, I've learned something from it, and I've taken action. I feel better, because that's just the kind of person I am, I need to do something about it, so.
Yeah, well, you've done it.
As my Delaney said, I'm using I want to use whatever energy is and try and turn it into a positive experience.
Yeah, it's called quantum energy, it's called, John.
Yes.
You don't have to be there, you just send it out. It's like this young lady here, Deb, right, and he tried to pick her up, and the two big bulky fellows, and he could only get her that high off the ground, because she did what they had. So she said, what's it? Done it, and it worked, right? I mean,
there's a lot of truth in that, but I've seen this all the time. I'll give you an example. I mean, I'm getting on now myself, sometimes when you're in the gym and all that, and I'm still training, I'm still quite, people often say, oh, you can tell you've done something or whatever, when I'm moving in the gym, and sometimes you'll get these big sort of bodybuilding guys, and they'll come onto these pads, and they're trying to hit, and they're pushing, and there's no explosive energy, which is what you're like, your yin and your yang, when you're explosive energy, or chi as well, bang, bang, and when they look at the size of me, the energy I'm able to produce, or when I do something on it, I'm not got these bulked up muscles and anything like that. That surprises a lot of people, So it really, I understand exactly what you're saying about that chi energy. So it's so important. I've always had the opinion from me that fitness or health or anything for me, and especially now as I'm getting on now, it's all about mobility. If you lose that sense of mobility and what you've got, then do you know what I mean? There's, I don't know, if I still couldn't kick or something like that, I don't know, I'd be terrible to live with. Do you know what I mean? So while I can still punch it back and kick it back, the mobility side of things are good for me. And I think having the mobility in whatever you do is so important, in life.
What you find
we have just had the pleasure of David Burgess joining us. I think he's traveling somewhere.
Oh, yes.
As always, he never stands still.
Yeah, hi guys. I'm driving back home from a gig, so I just seen your lovely Facebook message. I thought, I haven't seen this lovely lady for a long time, so I thought I'd jump in.
Great to see you, David. Great to see you.
Lovely to see you too.
Yeah,
thank you for joining us.
Smooth talking sod, he is. Wonderful,
but he's
full of beans. Yeah, one of the things you found with them, as an example, big, strong lads and the what they call brown belt. And when you shake hands, they're like, trying to crush your bloody hands. Once they get to black belt, just a nice, normal type shaking of hands, because they don't have to prove anything then. And it's a shame, because they don't have to prove anything anyway, but they think they do when in the brown belts. Good fun.
Wonderful. Anyone else would like to say anything? No? Okay, so I would like to say that I'm very grateful.
Maria?
Yes.
So sorry. I told you that I'll come this evening to come and say thank you. Thank you all for my book, John Bullock. I got the book this Friday, and that's Flying Eagles. Maybe he has forgotten. And gave me a book. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And actually, I missed you guys. My system actually is not functioning. I have to come to the office to come and do this. That's why I'm here this evening. And I really miss you guys.
Thank you for your effort.
I hope to continue this again very soon.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Becky.
so much. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. I am really appreciating you all, and I love you all. And see you next week. Thank you so much.
See you next week. Thank
Bye-bye,
you, everyone.
bye-bye.
Oh, you're
Take care,
not
bye-bye,
going now,
bye-bye.
are you, Maria? Just go in.
What did you say, David?
I said, you're not going now, are you? I've just got here. What's all that about?
Well, that's the idea. As soon as we seen your bloody face, we're going. Here's my son, by the way, so I can say that to him.
Sorry. Was someone speaking then? I couldn't quite hear.
It was me, son, the old fella.
David, we are missing you a lot, so join us whenever you can.
I've just been busy, but I'll jump in. I'll jump in when I can.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
See you
Have a
tomorrow.
fantastic weekend, and I'll see you next week.
Bye now. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.